Last, I'm going to say 8 years, 5 to 8 years, it's become really hard to treat patients and to do what you know is best because insurance isn't going to pay for this. Or this is the new thing and what everybody's standard of practice is, and it's become treat the disease. And I didn't realize how much it ate away at me until I was sitting across the table from my husband. And he asked me if we were still going to stay married, and he thought maybe it was time to consider divorce. I gave my life to my career. I gave my career everything, and it didn't really give anything back to me. In fact, it just demanded more. And medicine has gotten so convoluted and demanded so much more here in the United States. I mean, we have compassion fatigue, we have burnout, we have overwhelm. And these are people who want to improve the health of our communities. These are people who are there because they love other people and want to help other people. And we can't do it anymore. Our hands are tied, but we're having to do and put more hours in and put everything of ourselves to the detriment of ourselves. And so I knew I was about to lose everything that I cared about if I didn't change. And that's when Google saved my life and saved my marriage. And I found HCI, and it's all over after that. But they spoke to the importance of getting to the root cause and the underlying belief that causes disease in our bodies. And so it was in alignment with my belief structure. It was in alignment with what we see in medicine. HCI spoke it on the wellness side and on the prevention side. And it really felt like this was the avenue for me to bridge the gap between healthcare and wellness here, and a way to make an impact.
I am good enough. I deserve to earn money as a coach so that I can use that money to educate and elevate the world around me and leave this world a better place.
I've decided that I am finally doing what I was put on this earth to do, and that's to really stand up and spread the health, share my knowledge, my expertise, and my love, and give hope to someone who maybe doesn't have it.
I get to be the change that I want to see in the world. Because as one person, I was insignificant. But as one of this tribe, we are doing amazing things. And I want to invite you to join us in this and do this too. Help us make an impact. Because together we are stronger. Together, each and every one of us is changing the world.
My name's Jen Godet, and I'm a transformational life coach.
We started off nice and powerful today. That was amazing. Welcome everybody to the Red Carpet Rendezvous. This here, we have the ultimate podcast that brings you everything from the world of entertainment, from movie to music and everything in between. And today we mixing it up as we've been doing for the last few weeks here on the Playground After Dark Network. We mixing in Red Carpet Rendezvous tonight with a little bit of mental health for the people. We usually say mental health for Mondays, but we sneaking it in a little early today for y'all on Sunday because we have an expert ready to share some information for y'all. Not necessarily about mental personal health, but it's about growth. And it's all in the same category. So welcome without any further interruption, Jen. And I didn't get the last name down, so I apologize for that. But thank you for joining. How are you doing today?
Fantastic, and it's Godet. I'm a little bit Cajun there.
Okay. I can do that. I love it. Okay. So is that your where you're from, the Louisiana area?
I'm from New Orleans. Yes, that is exactly where I am from.
Okay. I have to say that the accent doesn't carry through as much as the media and the movies portray. With movies like Waterboy and stuff.
We get that all the time. In fact, when I travel, everybody thinks I'm from Long Island. I'm like, Long Island, New York? No. Southern all the way.
Wow, that's those people guess horribly wrong, but okay, we'll give them that. Okay, so could you start off a little bit just to introduce us? I mean, when I started to do research on you, I was very, very impressed, first of all, of your platform and your reach. Secondly, of the information that's being laid out. But can you give a little bit about your background and what goes into the world of Jen Goodag?
Yeah, absolutely. So I started in sports medicine, physical therapist by trade, degree in psychology, and I worked with athletes. I worked with collegiate, professional, Olympic athletes for 20 years in sports medicine.
Mm,
And you saw my shift that happened. I think that was 2016, 17 is when I retired that because I could not have the same impact in peak performance. They were telling me to do things to slow down. I'm here to get people back in the game. And so I shifted that and became a coach. Really, it was transformational health and life coaching. And now I bring peak performance to business. And that really is who I am as a human being now. I actually own multiple businesses in a bunch of different sectors, but you saw the moment that I realized that I always thought I was one person and one human and I couldn't make a difference. But the reality is if we have something we believe in and we overcome our fears of being on stage, because I'm afraid of, like, I had big time stage fright and I don't like cameras.
mm,
This is uncomfortable for me even doing this. And I've been on television for 4 years. But I really recognize that if you believe something, you have to stand up and say it and people follow. It's really amazing how that happens. And so now I have a couple of television shows. One is empowering entrepreneurs so that they can become the absolute best that they can. I believe in bringing industry leaders and greats to share what's working so that everybody elevates, because I believe that everybody deserves access to that information, not just the people who can pay high dollar for it. And then I have a television show dedicated to peak human performance, health, and wellness so that we can really make an impact on public health. So that's kind of where I am today.
wow, yeah, and I understand your health and wellness has a holistic approach from it. Is that your main focus, or do you mix in with other things? Like I've been discovering a lot about the psychedelic world and things like that lately.
Yeah, so from my standpoint, I look at it physiology, psychology, because that's my background. Like, what is the true mindset behind things?
Mm-hmm.
And then, of course, spiritual, social, emotional, relational, financial health, all of that goes into us being a peak performing human being. And if we ignore any aspect of that, then everything else kind of lags. And I'm very open, I'm very open-minded to how you get there, but the reality is we have to start between the ears. If we don't believe something's possible for ourselves, then how do we set the intention, take the aligned action, and set up our inevitable success? So I really believe in that holistic approach, because what we do in one area, we do in any. And if you look at your bank account today and you don't like what you're seeing, it's 10 to 1 showing up somewhere else in your life as well. And so we have to start in the
Mm,
place, and that's between the ears. We have to believe it's possible for us, and then we have to take the action.
yes,
We have to change what we're doing and create those habits for success.
man, I beg you. I can't argue with anything you just said. You're preaching gospel. Now you're preaching gospel to the choir over here. I understand. Well, so no, not there yet. So what made you take that path? What got you started down? You started with sports medicine and moved into the personal side. What, or the business professional side? What got you started and your inspirations into that?
Well, I'll tell you, it was my journey, which you already saw. It was very deeply
Mm.
personal. I almost lost my marriage. Newsflash: we're happily married still, so that's good.
All right.
Yeah, I had to change a lot because I put everything in the people. I put everything into everyone that I worked with and the people that I worked with and the athletes and my team. And the reality is it limits our ability to achieve what we want personally when we pour everything into everyone else. And I was raised in the church in New Orleans. I went to Catholic school my whole life, and so I was raised, you give the shirt off your back and you give until it hurts. And the reality is I had to do the inner work myself in order to help anybody else. And so the trajectory was kind of like I made the shift. And it was funny because some of the athletes that I worked with, they were at end of career, and it's really, really hard for professional athletes when they're no longer a professional athlete. That transition is very hard. And so it's kind of your identity is completely different because you've spent your whole life maybe trying to be in the NFL. You spend everything you do trying to achieve what it is that you want to achieve, and you get there. And then it's so hard because you're kind of forced to retire in a lot of places, or injury retires you. And then your whole life you've lived this, and it's your identity and who you are. And now you're no longer that person. And so a couple of my athletes over time started reaching out to me, and they're like, what's next? I want to do something good in the world. I want to support at-risk youth. I want to support mental health for athletes. I want to deal with concussion. And so they were coming to me because I was that resource, helping them get better along the way in the health field. And so that's kind of what started that trajectory. It was my journey, plus seeing that. And my transition was equally as hard. I was in medicine for 20 years. And I was like, well, I know this. I'm helping other people with this. This is not going to be my problem. But I'll tell you, like, it took me 2 years to retire my license. I kept holding on to it because it was such a vital part of who I am. And no matter where we are, like, our identity is locked into what we do. And quite frankly, it's really powerful to help people move through that and see, guess what? There is something next. We can get through that transition and it can be even better. So how can we inspire other people? How can we live the life we want to live and inspire others to do so? So it kind of was a culmination of those factors that prompted me into what I do today.
A lot of that I'm getting from people who are in this lane, they tie their personal connections to it. So it's like that gets a lot of people started down these paths, and I'm not upset with that. That's a great thing to hear that, and especially the testimony part and seeing what it looks like coming out on the other side. Good as this. So you mentioned sports. If I have to guess, I would say NFL. But what sport? When it came to sports medicine, did you have a specialty or?
So I worked predominantly shoulder injuries and knee injuries. So a lot of NFL, MLS, basketball, soccer, a lot of volleyballs in college, like collegiate volleyball players have a lot of knee and shoulder issues. Baseball, tons of baseball, MLB. But in the Olympics, gymnastics, track and field, soccer were kind of the sports that I tended to play in.
Okay. Well, I'm going to ask you, see if we can get you in trouble a little bit. Can you drop any big names that you had in your office?
Ask me about anybody. I cannot. HIPAA is a big deal. Confidentiality is a big deal. But I will tell you, I practiced in Louisiana and New Orleans in the early 2000s, and I practiced in the Houston Metro from 2008 until I retired in 2017. So if they were a big name, likely I touched that athlete in some way, shape, or form at some point in time.
Okay. I was going to say, like, is there like you probably helped the Super Bowl win out, but I'm not going to start down. Vegas would be mad at us. Vegas would be mad at us.
Privacy and confidentiality is a big deal. And I'll tell you, like, you're not going to find who I work with in coaching because I have confidentiality. I've worked with celebrities in coaching. You will not find that on my social media. And I get ripped about all the time about it, but like, it's a confidentiality thing, and people don't want to give their secrets away. It's kind of like the edge, right? You don't want to know what's giving you that peak performance or that edge. And so they don't share resources. So it's kind of like
they're not telling you they got it from you.
Wow. That's a big thing though. That's just not in her field. That's in a lot of things. People don't, because I was in a position, I'm not going to say, but I was in a position where I knew a certain thing that no one else knew that was giving me more, money or what was happening. I wasn't telling you shit. So you're right. You're definitely right. I ain't telling you nothing. Yeah.
It's all about that 0.1% edge. What gives me that edge, and how am I going to get that? Who do I know? Who knows it?
Yeah.
And I'll tell you, I've leveraged a lot of technology that, quite frankly, I have technology in my home that you can't get because the FDA didn't approve it here, but I'll fly my bum to Germany to get it because it's peak human performance. It helps me to think better. It helps me to stay more alert and to make better decisions faster. So I have something that keeps jet lag away. We don't have that over here because it's blocked, like it's regulatorily not allowed to be here. So why shouldn't we go and have access to the best?
Yeah, that's true. Absolutely. Okay, I'm a dance around hippo one more time because I like animals. Um, do you know the doctor that got Mark McGuire to start juicing?
No.
Good job. All right. You work with reputable people. I'm going to settle with that.
I can tell you, I got a lot of my referrals came from the best surgeon in the country for shoulder surgeries. Everybody knows him. Dr. Andrews, he wrote all the books, and so he's the one who, if he did the surgery, I wanted that athlete.
Ah, okay.
So I think I got a rotator cuff problem. What should be some of the things I should do for this shoulder? Because I'm trying to get back to doing all my push-ups. You know what I'm saying?
Stop getting old.
I might be older than both of y'all, but that's okay. Let me tell you, I can't give you that answer because I'm not looking at your shoulder, but I can tell you a lot of times rotator cuff is a posture thing. So you want to strengthen your scapula, your stabilizers, your back.
Okay.
So, getting that posture in order. And then if you've got a tear, then, there's a lot of stabilization exercises. You can Google it. Just Google what is physical therapy for this. There are things to do. And I'll tell you that if you're going to push 180 or you're going to bench 180 or you're going to bench 220, you better be pulling that in your lat pulls and in your rows. Whatever you do in your front, you better do in the back, because otherwise you set up issues with that. And
that
I'll
makes
tell you
a
another
lot of
secret.
sense.
Most
I
men
know that
don't
part.
do that. Most men only work what they can
Yes.
see in the front.
You have
That's
to
why
all that.
triceps
Yeah.
is important.
Absolutely. At the
Most
gym, I
surgery.
go half on the back. Whatever I
You gotta go
do
all
in the
the way,
front,
buddy.
I do half in the back. You
gotta
and
go
then
all the way.
when I started working out my back one day, I just did all back exercises. Like, damn, I got a weak back. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
'cause you got to do everything. You know what I'm saying? With those, from your legs on up, everything got to be that same weight of what you're doing. I know that much.
Okay.
I just want to get my shoulder together so I can get back to it.
I'll just be playing in the gym because it'd be too many cute girls up in there, man. I'll be distracted.
Woo!
I gotta go to an ugly girl gym or something.
And then I'm gonna come in and I'm gonna lift
Planet
more than
Fitness.
you.
That'll motivate me
Yeah,
more.
that's when I really leave the gym. I'm like, oh, okay, I'm done. I'll come back another day when I'm more motivated, because that just killed me right
That
there.
don't motivate you, the pretty girls. I go in there.
The pretty girls do, but not when the pretty girl come in and I'm benching 155 and she come in and put 200 on the slab and I'm like, okay, now hold up, time out.
You talking?
Time out.
Yeah.
Time out.
I just go down. I go somewhere else. Yeah, I feel you right
But
now.
You're right. We got.
It's the
let me go.
habits of success,
Let me
so
go get
you'll
on
be
the
able to be
treadmill.
benching at 210 too.
That's the truth. That's the truth. Just keep going. Just keep going is the key. All right, so let's shift over to the professional side of things. You switch from sports medicine, and then now you're into more business coaching and things like that. I understand. So, in your opinion, what are some of the key mind shifts that entrepreneurs like myself and Raz and plenty of our viewers would need to make initially to make an impact in 2025?
Well, first thing, embrace adaptability, because change happens in business. It doesn't matter where you are, whether you're starting up, whether you're scaling, whether you're looking at exiting. If you're not adaptable and you're not flexible and you keep trying to do everything that worked last year and 4 years ago, you're going to find yourself in trouble. So the reality is change is constant.
Got it.
And we have to look at that as opportunity for growth. And if you're not leveraging AI, this is my bandwagon. Yes, I own AI companies. Full disclosure. And I have an AI segment on my television show every week for this reason. If you're not leveraging the tools and leveraging AI to accelerate what you're doing, I firmly believe, and you can document this, that by this time next year, the people who have not done that, they might find themselves out of business. because somebody who is leveraging the tools in a way to improve your efficiency and everything else, they're going to be running faster than you. What I've seen is, so I have it integrated fully in everything that I do. And my clients, we do integrations. It'll save 40 to 70% of your cost structure. So your expenses go down by 40 to 70%. It's a little expensive at first to put it in, but when you do it, can you afford if your competition now is 40 to 70% cheaper than you are? Yeah.
No way.
Change and being willing to learn, like, mindset for business, it's always have a beginner mindset and ask, what don't I know? And what can I improve? Because if we can fill those gaps, that's everything. And I look at failure. If you're not failing, you're doing it wrong. In entrepreneurship, failure, everybody has a fear of failure. But if you're not failing, it means you're not showing up big enough, which means you're not even coming close to reaching your potential. So, take those L's as learnings and ask yourself, how can I become better, faster, more efficient? And realize that success is a journey. It's the daily habits, the climbing up, the mental resilience, the showing up and the consistency, along with that learner beginner mindset. That's what wins the game. It's no different than sports. It's the same.
That's what wins the game. You have to adapt. You have to adapt. You have to be willing to everything she said. Oh my God. I love you today. Because most of everything you said is what I be saying. You have to adapt. You have to be willing to learn. I'm 52 years old and I learn every day. I want to learn every day. You know what I'm saying? And then also when you talk about the AI, we've been on that since like 2 years.
You put me on that, Rash. You put me on some of that AI stuff.
That's what I'm saying. I've been on that for the longest, and I've been telling people, you have to adapt. Things is changing. What you talking about last year ain't working. It ain't gonna work. You have to adapt. I love you. Thank you.
Yes, absolutely, man. That's whew.
Now y'all see
gotta love it.
A professional said
you are crazy. That does not add up to nothing what you talking about. You still crazy.
But
and I love you.
Professional said.
All right, so yeah, you did mention now let's talk about Now Media TV, your television productions and all. What got you started doing that, and what are some of the challenges that you had that you overcame?
Okay, so before pandemic, I was speaking all over the world about boundaries and how to set boundaries and how to really structure your life so that you can, excel in whatever you're doing and love your life too and have a life, because that was my story, right? And then the pandemic hit and the world shut down. So I'm going to back up a little bit before that. About a year before pandemic, when digital business cards were a thing, as soon as they hit the market, I went and got one because I'm a nerd and I love technology. So when I see something, I go and I jump on it. And the people who were doing the digital cards, the digital business cards here, they were all being filmed in the television studios here in town. And so I went and I filmed it. They gave me an hour. I went in 30 seconds. I was done, one take. And like the producer comes running out. He's like, oh my goodness, who wrote your copy? What are you talking about? Me. You did that in one take. How did you do that? You're great. I want you on television. I'm like, no, I hate cameras. I love technology. I hate cameras. I don't like being visible. I'm a coach. I like being in the corner and letting athletes shine or my business owner shine. I like other people to shine. And so he was on me. He asked me a couple of times, and when the pandemic happened, he just so happened to ask me right when we locked down. And that was 90% of my lead generation for my coaching and consulting business was speaking on stage. Everything. I had a book and I'd speak and they get my book and then they want to coach. And like, that was the lead generation for me in the marketing. And so I said, you know what? We're locked down. Why should I say yes to this? And the reason Now Media is because it's bilingual and their mission is to bring quality content, English speaking content to the Spanish speaking population, because they had a lot of Spanish speaking content and a lot of the content is not really great, especially in business. So they wanted me to provide the expertise and everything that I had in that way. And I'm huge on giving back and access, as you heard at the beginning of the show. Like, that's what I believe in. I do, medical mission trips and things to bring access no matter where we are. And so that's why I said yes. And I said yes to them because they have a mission that's very similar to mine. And so I started, I will tell you, it was the hardest thing I've ever done. I don't like cameras. I don't like being on camera. I don't like stages, but I got over that because the message was more important. But to sit in the television studio with all the lighting and all the cameras on you and like that was very uncomfortable. And so I had to get over the fact that I still had visibility issues, and I'm not I didn't do journalism. This is outside of my comfort zone. It was way outside of my comfort zone, but that's where the growth is. And so I just started. And as soon as I realized that it's not anything to do about me, it's all about them. And I'm really good at positioning people and understanding when they have something that can add value to my audience. It was when I shifted that perspective. Now I still have to psych myself out for, well, it'll be 5 years in next month, but I still have to psych myself out to get there. But once I'm there, I like put on that persona and I'm like, I've got this because I'm going to interview this amazing person. I have an Italian designer coming in studio to talk about like the luxury line clothes and business dressing for success. And it's about what they can bring to the audience. And all I have to do is ask the right questions. And that brings the story to life and really highlights that. And then the other thing I'm really good at, and my expertise as a coach, is I take complex stuff and make it really simple. So we always have action steps after every show, whether it's the medical show, whether it's the entrepreneur show, so that people at home watching can immediately do something and improve their life or their business right then and there. And that,
I'll be tuned in.
That's why I do television.
Wow. I will definitely be tuned in for that stuff. That's amazing. That's I have to applaud you again for that. Overcoming that fear, especially you mentioned that a couple times, being stage fright and stuff like that. Definitely when you take the focus into the guests, that does it helps you create the magic. You know what I'm saying? So that's another thing that helps me kind of get out of the nervousness when I first started it. And how do you choose your guests when it comes to selecting who to interview? What do you have a process for that, or
I interview, I pre-interview.
Who can I get on right now?
I preview my guests, and here's why. Because even the most successful people in the world might be boring as anything. Television, like if you want them to keep watching, it needs to be engaging. You need to be able to converse. And so I made a lot of mistakes in the beginning. I just was trying to find guests to get content. But then I don't know what's it. I interviewed Bruce Buffer. I don't know if you guys know who he is. He's like, and now it's time, that guy.
Right.
He's a marketing genius, in case you didn't know. He's a great person to interview. But between him and Jillian Michaels, who's like the face of female fitness for 30 plus years, when I got them to say yes to my show, I realized that I had something that was really powerful, because when you interview people who everybody sort of knows, that opens the door to even better guests. And so if they're not a celebrity or they're not a great founder, like I just interviewed Brian Smith, founder of UGG Boots. I interviewed the founder of Reebok. Like if I'm able to get them, then the other guests that are not that level better be able to add value to my audience. So people reach out to me all the time. I'm constantly getting pitched. And so I look at it as, have you had a measure of success in some area? Are you a subject matter expert in something in business or in the medical space, in something in peak human performance? And then what can you add value to my audience? Like, for example, I just had on the healthcare show, I had someone fly in from Park City, Utah, because they're working on longevity and like really simple stuff that every human can do to improve your lifespan and your health, like sleep, like just basic stuff that's accessible to everyone. And then he works with like athletes and celebrities, but he's willing to come share that with my audiences, no matter where they are in what area of life, then the other guests that I have in medicine better deliver something equally as powerful for my audience. So that's kind of my filter. Is it going to add value? Are they going to be able to break it down, or can I break it down simply enough to give an action step that people can start moving forward? Because that's really what it's all about. If they're watching my shows, it's about edutainment, it's education, it's about impact. It's about how can I raise the field, because not everybody can afford to go get an MBA. Not everybody can afford to get those things. But if I can bring it to you every week, I'm sure as heck gonna try.
We're going to do this after every question. I see. I see. That's just going to be the moving theme. Because I mean,
what she's
wow,
saying
yeah,
though, kind of what she's saying is kind of common sense though.
yeah.
Because
In a
you
way,
want
especially
someone,
with the SMEs, I call them the SMEs, them subject matter experts.
yeah, because that's what you want to do to create, have somebody with some expertise, some, to bring people even more to your show, because that's what you're trying to create. If you can't add no value, then what are we talking about?
Yeah, but Raz, personally, we in this world of podcasting, how many times have we had a guest where we ask a good question to, and they give us a 2-word response? You definitely have to know how to, for one, have the right mix of guests, and you got to have the right you have to have the right energy,
Man,
especially when you have multiple guests. So it's
Doc,
that's science.
Doc,
The science and magic.
let me say something real quick, Doc, because I got to do what she doing now. I need to start pre, because I ain't gonna say his name, but I asked this dude like a question, and I don't know what the hell he was talking about. So I keep it energy going up. I faked it up. I'm like, okay, all right, that's cool. And then I asked him another question. I don't even know what the fuck he was talking about. And I just went back to just simple questions. I kept it flowing, so I just went back to simple questions, but she's so right. I mean, you can't answer like you doing, I didn't ask you that. Okay. Yeah.
Well, and I don't know if you guys encounter this, but sometimes they dupe you. Like you think they're the expert, but somebody's feeding them everything, and they get on and they can't answer the questions, or they can't think on their feet. Or if you ask the deeper question, they can't follow up. And then I'm like, oh, I've made that mistake too. That's why you pre-screen them.
Gotcha. Learn some new stuff.
Yeah.
Pre-screen. Doc, pre-screen.
Yeah.
Pre-screen.
It doesn't take long either. I know in 2 minutes, but I give them 10 minutes.
Yeah,
to convince
I
them
be
why they
trying
should
to, but man.
Yeah, I know, man. I know.
Oh, get to it. That's true. I mean, the thing with pre-screening, well, I've been so lucky in the past because I've really only interviewed people that I know, that I've been in the room with, that I've talked to personally. So it's maybe been about 3 or 4 people. Like, of course, you get the big name Ace Hood and Pimper Kens and them. I never been in a room with them before, but the other people that I can talk to every day, I know their energy. So yeah, I've been lucky. I've been very, very lucky.
I've been lucky with all these people that I don't know, from out of town. All these artists, like I don't know. But I ain't gonna lie, I've been lucky.
Yeah.
I've been pretty lucky.
You be trying. You be getting it in.
Yeah.
But you research though, right?
Oh, my bad. No.
Definitely do that. That's the first thing you do when you're talking to these artists. You do your research, checking out where they're from, what they're doing, and therefore you know how to display it and hit them with questions and stuff like that. But even through the conversation, I can do more. I can do better questions by just conversation.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Even though I have questions like right now ready. But the conversation, I can even come up with even more questions. But while I'm doing that, I always got questions on standby. So when it's that time, I can't come up with nothing else. I got my questions already. So yeah.
I do that. I prepare, I do a lot of research and I prepare and I'm like, hey, we're going to talk about these topics. And I will tell you maybe 5 times in the past year, we've actually stuck to the topics that I talk about because we ask the question that I want to know. Because if I know it, I know the audience wants to know it. And it's usually something that they're completely not expecting. I love to ask people who are really successful, well, you've had all this success. I mean, what's next? And sometimes it stumps them. But it's really good for them to be stumped, because what it does is it shows everybody else that they're just real people too. And they have the same challenges that we have. You know, like I'm going to use one, for example, imposter syndrome. Like I sit across the table from some of these people. I'm like, why the heck? Why did they want to be on my show? Who the heck am I? They're so much more successful than me. But they literally go, I don't know how I can add value to your audience. I'm really not sure I have anything that I can say that can help them. And I'm like, what? You built a $1 billion brand from nothing. Why are you even thinking this? But it goes to show you that every human has imposter syndrome. It literally is just a human element of, I'm uncomfortable. I haven't done this before. Of course we have imposter syndrome. It's what you do with it that matters.
It's just checks and balances, in my opinion. You know, you gotta, hey, am I really as good as they say I am? Yes, I am. Let's continue.
Let's go.
I love that. Okay, well, let's switch over because this is not directly into it, but I feel like it's kind of pulled from the same lane of conversations. But streaming sites, in your opinion, do you feel like like we got Netflix, Hulu, Crackle, we got Peacock, are like, and they all have their own production, and the productions are coming like tons by the tons. You can't keep up. If you watch TV, you can't watch it all. So do you feel like that's hurting or helping the world of entertainment in Hollywood?
So I'm going to say it goes both ways. Nobody wants to hear this. I am totally a centrist on this, because what streaming sites do is it democratizes access to entertainment and knowledge. It empowers creators to kind of bypass that whole Hollywood, formality and process. And if you don't know anybody, it's really hard to get your foot in the door in and it's like that in every industry, right? So I think it's kind of democratized the process. I mean, I would be on television if it wasn't for the fact of streaming sites and other things. And look, I've been on the air for 5 years. They asked me to produce another show. I now have 3 shows for the last year. I've had 3 TV shows that I would have never had access or known how to do that without streaming sites to give me that entry point. But the other side of it is there's a lot of garbage content out there, like a lot of garbage content. So you're overwhelmed. There's like content saturation. And so what happens is people don't really value creative work. And then you get into this point where, what do I watch? Well, is it going to be garbage like the last thing? I don't know. That's a show sort of like this other one. Well, how do you know if that one's not like gold if you had a bad experience with one? And so I think it's kind of a give and take in both sides. I see the dilution of quality, and then I see really amazing content creators who have come out of it. And I'm just going to use I don't know whether Mr. Beast, like he has a show right now on, and it's a game show, if you will, and it's brilliant. Well, if we didn't have streaming platforms, nobody would know who the heck he was. So there's like a lot of different access. And so, I mean, I guess that's kind of a political stance to take, but it really isn't. I mean, I see both sides because I live on one side, and I also have a hard time with the poor quality of content that sometimes is out there.
Exactly
I do agree with you. It is a political standpoint. I absolutely agree with that statement. It's like the people are taking the power from the machine, and we're controlling it. But that saturation, me and Raz go back and forth about that a lot, about the Tubi movie.
Man, I've been on the Netflix. I'm talking about all the little sites, and I look down to see and she is totally right. When I look down, I'll be like, I don't want to watch that. I don't want to watch that. That don't even look interesting. Oh my God, that probably like the last one. I don't want to watch that. It take me so long, and I got all these sites, but it take me so long to find a movie I want to watch because I'm disappointed from the other movie the other 2 movies that I just watched. So I'm like, man. At least, so what I do, I look for stuff I like. All right, I'm a gore guy, splatter, all that kind of stuff.
I got one for you.
Action. I'm looking for action, so I'm looking for stuff like that. I see something like that, I automatically watch it. But I like all kind of movies. I like thrillers. I like horror. I like all kind of movies. You know what I'm saying? But they just don't be giving it to me.
Well, I used to be a huge horror fan, but the horror movies have been garbage, quite frankly, most of them. They're terrible. So, yeah, I switched more to like the suspense spy, whatever stuff.
Yeah, yeah. Totally. Only thing good
Yeah,
about
I'm
it is
getting more into the
is the
dramas.
effects.
Yeah, they're getting better with the effects. They're getting bad with the storytelling. That's what it is with
Worse,
the horror. The horror
worse.
movies are they're the storytelling is like they just need a love story somewhere mixed up in there. Just put a love story in there, make somebody cry, and then kill them.
Yeah,
Well,
You
it's
know,
not just
go,
horror either. Like, think about your action
go.
flicks. They're relying too much on the graphics and
It's
there's no
not.
yeah,
plot. That
yeah,
drives me nuts. I'm
yeah,
like, there's no story. Like, it's all just
Yeah,
special effects. Turn off.
yeah,
Total turn off.
yeah.
yeah. You're
So,
exactly
And they're
right.
remaking everything.
oh
Everything is
yeah.
a remake. But I got a remake we're going to get into later on today. That is, whew, yeah, they remaking some stuff. Okay, I'm not mad at all the remakes, but there's a lot of them out there. Oh yes, yes, yes. Okay, she talked about it earlier, and actually, I'm sorry, I jumped the gun. We were supposed to get into a quick commercial before we got into it, so we're going to enjoy a quick commercial. Just a message from Gen Services. For anybody who's interested, she does have a website. Do you want to let the people know what the website is and how to reach any of that information?
Yeah, I actually prefer if people just reach out to me on LinkedIn or on Facebook or whatever through messages because everything
Mm.
that comes through the website's managed by other people. But yeah, it's
Oh,
jengodaycoaching.com. Mm-hmm.
oh, you're a machine. See, man, too famous, too hot to handle. I love it. Well, let's check this message.
Jen Goday here, owner of Jen Goday Coaching Services. We offer business coaching to small businesses. Why? I believe that iron sharpens iron, and together we're stronger. Coaching provides the shortcut that gets businesses from where they are today to where they want to be. It gets them there further and faster. The reason that I'm passionate about this is because I truly believe that small business is the lifeblood of our community. And when we help our clients to grow their businesses, the ripple effect not only impacts them as the entrepreneur, but also their teams, their families, our communities, and our world.
Awards, experience, Tonys, and this imposter syndrome still there, and you're saying it's healthy.
I don't know if it's healthy or not. I'm just saying that it's something that I recognize in all the artists I've worked with. It's in all of them. It's only the people, social media, that says, when you walk onto a set, you gotta know who you are. You telling me you have the imposter syndrome? That means you got to go into therapy and you got to just find out. You got to get some more confidence. It's not about confidence. It's about that feeling of always feeling you're in process and that you could be better. There are so many people now who say, listen, when I was 19, 20, and I started my career, I wouldn't do A, B, C, or D. And I told my agents, unless you get me a great role, I'm not gonna get out of bed. I'll stay home and eat ramen noodles. I have to say, 99.9% of the artists I know do not say that. They just take the role. And I'll tell you why. They take the role because every role is an opportunity to be better. It's another opportunity to learn your craft. And let me tell you something, you're learning your craft more with crappy material than you are with great material. That's number one. Number two, a lot of artists will take the role because there are very few roles out there for artists. It's a 95% unemployment rate where only 0.04% of actors are famous. You're gonna take the role, especially you got 2 kids at home that need health care, and then you have to pay the rent. It is a business about deprivation, and yet there is a pervasive narrative going on out there, which is about being a famous actor. not an actor. And so when an actor speaks and it's diametrically opposed to that famous actor's speech, then it's like someone's telling a lie. All I'm saying is that I know what the actor language is because I've been doing it too long. In every incarnation, I've done regional theater, I've done off-Broadway, I've done Broadway. I have rode a bus one way for 4 hours just to get to a play in a church basement in Newton, Massachusetts. So I know the language of the artist. And the language of the artist is, someone's gonna find me out. I may not be as great as people think I am.
Classic imposter syndrome, right?
Yeah.
They're gonna find me out.
And anybody who even wants to be great has that. Anybody, any filmmaker, any writer, any actor. But what it does is, of course, you have to have a healthy sort of approach to it. You have to recognize it for what it is. You have to keep it in its place. But what it does on a healthy level, it keeps you humble and it keeps you working.
Wow. Powerful message. Powerful. Well, you did bring that up earlier, and you said, and it's, you're not going to necessarily have to frown on the imposter syndrome, but how do you feel that affects people's performance on a daily basis, in and out?
Well, first of all, there was a mic drop there because she was on point, and everything she said about imposter syndrome in the entertainment industry is in business. It's in sports. Every athlete experiences. Every entrepreneur experiences it. But what I'm going to say is there's two types of people. There's types of people who allow the fear to stop them, and then there's the successful people who allow the fear to fuel them. It's about turning that fear into excitement. It's about knowing that you're in the right place. If you feel imposter syndrome, then you're exactly where you need to be because you're stepping into that next level. You're stepping into something new, something challenging. And it's like something for you to say, oh, wow, I feel like I'm going to throw up here because I don't belong here. And what if people know that I don't know what I'm talking about? Guess what? It's your opportunity to learn. And if you fail, you pick yourself up, you find the right mentor, the right coach, the right support peer group, and you keep moving forward. You ask yourself, what is that learning along the way? And you move forward. And those are the successful people. They all have it. Every single human being I've ever interviewed, and I've interviewed A-list celebrities and athletes, Olympic athletes who are gold medalists multiple times over, and we all have it. It is a human fact. It just is a sign that we're stepping into something that's a little uncomfortable, and that's where the growth is. The growth is never where we're comfortable. It's never in our comfort zone, like never, ever, ever, ever. It's always where the growth is. And where the growth is where we get in business. It's how we get to the next level of elite in whatever it is that we're doing in business and life.
How would you suggest someone navigates through maybe feeling like, how do I put this?
I'm not good
So
enough.
you're going
I
through the
don't know
imposter
enough.
syndrome, and I feel like I might. No, not necessarily, but like I can feel like I've doing some of my times in imposter syndrome. I've slowed down because I knew I was about to go into some stuff that I need to navigate very cautiously. So do you feel like head first is the best way to address it, or learning your knowledge, and like what's the best way to go when you start to feel this syndrome take over?
So you might be asking the wrong person because I'm a dive head first and
Okay.
build the parachute. Like I'm a jump
Me
off the
too.
cliff, build the parachute on the way down. That's how I am. And that's because I was an athlete and I worked with athletes for so many years. But if you're going into something that's completely new, like for example, artificial intelligence, I knew I wanted to invest in AI and I wanted to build AI businesses because I'm really good at solving problems. I'm really good at seeing big problems and understanding what the solution could be and then finding the right team to develop it. So I spent about 6 months diving in 2020, 21, 2022, learning everything I could about machine learning, interviewing people about it, having meetings, getting introduced to people, and just learning about it. And I started doing baby steps, but it was uncomfortable every step of the way. Because here I am, I'm interviewing like, I can't even say some of the people are, it's not on television. It was for my learning, and they have top security clearance. But I went to who's the best in the industry. I'm like, why are they taking
We're talking about like government officials, security
people
clearance.
who develop for the government, people who develop
Okay,
for,
okay.
yeah. And
All
even
right.
like even your household names, like they don't want their people talking to anybody.
No,
Like, they're
yeah,
not
of
allowed.
course.
Yeah. Unless they're
I get it.
media, they're not allowed to talk about it. So like, but I wanted to learn. So I took it a little slow. I learned, I did what I could when chat came out with their first, when OpenAI came out with their very first beta. I jumped on the bandwagon. I learned everything I could, and I continue to look at all those things. But it didn't stop me from putting money in it. I looked up who was putting money in it. I saw, like, I bought stocks in the companies that were putting money in it, because then I could see what the stockholders were seeing and the reports and where it was going. And I looked at where the money was going and where the development was, and I just jumped in. And I found great developers by doing that, because I wasn't afraid to go ask. And I wasn't afraid to go ask the best of the best. And I guess because people are afraid to approach the people who are really, really top 200 minds or whatever, they don't get a lot of requests. But I just bulldozed in, and I'm like, listen, tell me everything I need to know, because I'm going to invest in this, and maybe I'm going to invest in your next project. So what do you got to tell me?
Yeah. I'm definitely not afraid to address the top names, because I just think they ignore all my emails, or I'm not getting at them the right way, because I tried, damn it. I know Denzel Washington, Tyler Perry, all of them.
But sometimes you got to go every single week until they just tell you to stop
Yeah.
harassing me. Like, I actually spent 36 weeks with trying to get one of them on the phone, and I finally got them. And
Consistency, you said it.
Yep, it's consistency, and it's like, it's being a bulldog. Like, it's like a dog with a bone, right? I want that. I'm going to do whatever the heck I need to do to get that. And if they're going to tell me no, then I'm going to find who their best friend is, and I'm going to go get with their best friend and have their best friend introduce me, and then they can't ignore me anymore. So, but whatever you need to do, like, persistence is everything. And if you're feeling imposter syndrome, like, I have a battle book. I'm just going to give you my tool. Okay. So I have a battle book. It's everything that I want to do. And I have, like, I'm going to look over there. Like, I actually bring them with me. They're journals, and I write every little success, and I write the failures and what is the one thing I'm going to take out of the failure on one side. And then I write what happens in the success on the other side. I literally have these journals since 2016. Like, that's when I started this process. And whenever I'm feeling imposter syndrome, I go grab that 2016 journal and go, gosh, I'm not that person. You showed a clip of me on stage. I think that was in 2018 or 2019. Like, I'm like, holy cow. I was so terrified to do that interview. That was the first interview that I ever did. Like, the first one.
I can tell is a different person. I can just tell from what I saw on all your current media to when I saw that clip. That's why I wanted to pull that, because I knew it would take you back. I knew it would.
Oh,
I could just tell you are a totally different person. Yes. That's amazing. I
and
love
that was 5 years ago, like 6 years ago. So, like, in like my battle book, though, I can go, like, I'm looking at this, like, it still makes me like tear up, because I remember that trip to Vietnam. I remember that trip. I still work with meat, but it's when you look back at those battle books and you remember those things, that version of me had so much imposter syndrome, and I still have it, but look where I am now. And so that's why I keep them. And a lot of people laugh at me. At my house, I've got like every journal. It takes up a whole shelf on my bookcase. But when I have a challenge, I go to that, and I can pull any one of them. I can say, wow, that version of me had so many limiting beliefs. And look where I am now. And here I am challenged, but I know I can do this because I've proven it time and time again. Have I failed? Yeah, I fail big. When I fail big. I forgot my name on stage in front of 25,000 people. I forgot what I did. I like stood there, totally went blank.
Hold on. 25,000 people is going to make you forget something. You're going to forget something somewhere along this trip. You're forgetting something.
I've forgotten it on TV. I'm like, look, and I'm like, I'm your host, so I don't know who the heck I am, but that doesn't matter, because we're here for you. And I just keep rolling. Like, when I fail big. But like it really is about understanding where you are in the journey. And if we don't celebrate some of those successes and then we feel our self-doubt, we have to have something to look back on and say, well, look how far I've come so far. I'm not there anymore. So that's
Yeah.
kind of my secret weapon.
Thank you for saying that specifically, because I have that personal battle a lot, seeing where I want to be or think where I should be at my life right now. And well, damn it, I'm still not, back there, because I remember the beginning of this thing. We all got a journey, the path. I love it. I'm going to switch
Definitely a
gears a little
path.
bit.
Sometimes you gotta
Yeah.
put a little, like your your success, you gotta put a little time in it. Like I said, 5 years. I say my thing ain't gonna pop off to 5 years, because for one, I don't know what I'm doing. For two, I just learned this stuff. For three, I gotta learn more stuff. For four, there is so many people out there, so I gotta see what's going on. I have to come different. So I gave myself 5 years, going on 4, 5 to 5th year is going to be a success. I already planned that. I already envisioned it. I already knew I didn't know nothing. I just came into the game. I knew I didn't know nothing.
Hey,
You
and
gotta
that's the
tell me.
best part. When you have a plan and everything go according to the plan, that's a good feeling. That's a great feeling when the plan works out.
And also adapting to the new stuff, because
Give me
things
chills.
changing. So it's about adaptation. It's about pursuing. Also, you gotta love what you do too, to not make no money at the time and stuff like that, and really believe in what you do, knowing that it is going to come, because ain't nobody gonna believe in you like you believe in you. And if you don't believe you, ain't nobody gonna believe in you. So it all works.
That's a fact.
It's
All
true.
right, switching gears one more time here. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say, I've never had anything go according to my plan. There's always been road bumps. There's always been something. Nothing. Like I'm a strategist, and I lay out all the plan, all the metrics, all the things. And like, boom, pandemic hits. Boom, inflation. Like there's always something that hits you. So the plan is great, but I always look to, if something's not working, who do I need to know who can give me the shortcut to get there? And so I go and I spend money on that. I spend a lot of money on mentors, coaches. I was an athlete. I believe in coaches. All the athletes have coaches for a reason, and all the highly successful people have coaches for a reason. So I go find the person who's going to give me the shortcut when any of those roadblocks come. I'm like, hey, this is my challenge. I know I don't know this, or I'm challenged here. Who am I going to go get? Who's going to help me get there? Whose network do I need access to? And I'll go pay to get in. I love pay to play. I will get in front of your face, however I have to get in front of your face. But I want that person to shorten the time so that I can get where I'm going to be. And I want to say something else, Riaz. I love that you had a 5-year plan, because everybody looks at Instagram and thinks that entrepreneurship is $0 to like $1 billion overnight. That doesn't happen. That doesn't happen. Nobody sees all the hard work that we put in, the learning, the growth, the trials, the failures, the spaghetti at the wall, and to get to where we are when we're at the top. They only see the top, but we're all icebergs, and everybody only sees that 10% of success. And we see our own 90 under the water, but we don't see anybody else's. We always want to look, and that doesn't do anybody any favors.
Okay, so I'm gonna ignore that. How many times I clicked the wrong clip tonight? Thank you for the motivation. She's helping me out there, man. I have to send you a check. I see at the end of this one. All right. Well, let's go into a little gear. I want to try to. I hope we're not pressing time. I want to try to get a couple more topics in, but let's get to this next one here.
Gender inequality in Hollywood. When you think of a CEO of a company or of world political leaders, do you think of a man or of a woman? Many of us see these positions as being held by men. Gender inequality in our society is not uncommon, but we come across it every day without realizing it. It is a visible fact in our society, and the same happens in Hollywood's industry. According to the magazine The Atlantic, of the top 250 films of 2017, 88% had no female directors, 83% had no female writers, and 96% had no female cinematographers. Just 23% of these films had a girl or woman as a main character. But also there have been cases and accusations of sexual abuse in Hollywood, reported against people related to the medium of cinema. Accusations of sexual assault in the industry go back to 1921, but the issue reached an extensive media coverage after producer Harvey Weinstein was accused of sexual abuse by more than 80 women. Sociological studies on sexual harassment have shown that the worst industries for harassment combine several factors: male domination in positions of power, work arrangements that are relatively temporary, and young, single women in more vulnerable and low-paying occupations. Over the past year, more than 200 powerful people, celebrities, politicians, and others, have been the subject of sexual harassment or assault allegations. And then what measures will have to be taken to change this? The only way it's going to change is if we will see more women in this industry. Famous actors should work directly with female directors, and more women should be hired to write the scripts. Normalizing the film industry and the gender equality in Hollywood by giving more opportunities to the women in filmmaking careers. With this and more, we will hope then for an improvement in female filmmakers behind the scenes industries.
Okay. Now, I have to admit, me personally, I have a few rebuttals to some of the statements made in that, but I'm gonna get your opinion first. Do you feel, not just in entertainment in Hollywood, but in all roles, business, small business wise, entertainers or sports even, that there's a gender inequality or gender bias that's happening that's restricting anything significant?
So I'm going to say that I live it every day.
Mm,
I live it every day. So I am an investor now. I've had success and worked very hard to get there. But in sports medicine, I'd be one of 5 women out of 1,500 people at a conference. So in sports med in the 90s and early 2000s, it was very male dominated field. I had to work 5 times harder to get anybody to pay attention because I looked like I was 12, and they'd pat me on the head. What is this little girl going to tell me about football and sport performance? Like it was just an attitude. But I can tell you that I got them better faster than everybody else because I had to work twice as hard and go find out and make myself the best. So that was in sports medicine. And then when I shifted to business, I'm just gonna say money. It's still that is a huge challenge for women. Like access to finance is still predominantly male. I can go have the same business plan, have had documented success over someone who has not, and go pitch to the bank, and he will get the money. A man will get the money over a woman every time. And I have a lot of friends in big bank, big industry, private equity, and they say that. They're like, yes, that absolutely is the truth.
okay.
So access to resources is still a challenge, especially in business for women. And, when it gets to the top, there's been mandates. You can't get a government contract unless there's a female in the C-suite. But the problem is just putting a female in with no mentorship and not access to the resources and the grooming you to become a leader, it's created situations where we're set for failure. So I think that, in business, it definitely still exists, in leadership, especially at, the most profitable companies, it still exists, but it is changing. And I personally advocate for empowering women through peer mentorship, networks, and creating spaces where you can actually have access and get in the room. And whenever you think about inequality or it's really inequity, you think about, you have to have people who are going to reach across the field. So I had to get men on my side who were going to reach across the line and help me with this initiative. So the biggest problem is, a lot of women hang out with women and only whatever, but women don't like to talk about finance. They don't know how to make money the same way. We haven't been trained that. We were taught not to talk about it. So if we don't reach across that divide and don't put ourselves in the room with men and ask for that and find those alliances, we can't elevate ourselves. And we see this. I mean, we see this in every bias that exists, whether we're talking about socioeconomics, whether we're talking about gender, whether we're talking about race. It always exists, because if we're in an echo chamber, we don't know how to get to the next level unless we reach across the line. And I think, you know, in Hollywood, like I can't really speak to that, but I can speak in the media. I can tell you that the men who have salt and pepper hair don't get crap, but I get crap if I don't dye my hair. And I'm a grandma. I'm a proud grandma.
Look,
And if I've got silver up in there, I have so much. People will talk about what I'm wearing. People will talk about wear a lower cut shirt versus like whatever. Men don't have to deal with some of that aspect of it in the media, but it's something that we have to face. And so it's just another barrier. It's the mentorship, the access, the resources, the mentors, and the money that has been kind of limiting. A lot of men can go to school to act because they're in a family or they have that promotion. And we saw it in athletes, but now we have a lot more equity in athletics. And so I think it's shifting, but it requires us to reach across the line. So if ladies are listening to this, reach across the line, get some male advocates and ask for the mentorship, because if we don't go after it, we're not going to get it. And it's about equality. It's not about taking away. It's not about we deserve this because we're a woman. It's about teach me how to earn it. Because I do believe in meritocracy.
okay.
That's me personally, my belief only.
Very, very, very great. I understand. So I'm going to get your take on my rebuttals to the information. A lot of stuff can't be disputed. Like, but for one thing that the video mentioned is when you say CEOs, you automatically think it's going to be a man. I personally don't agree with that statement, because I feel like it would depend on what company we're talking about. I mean, maybe I'm wrong in that saying, but if it's a dress company, a company that makes dresses, I'm definitely going to assume that CEO is a woman. Now, that might be, I get slack a lot from people who tell me I'm wrong for assuming that a woman should be in that type of role. But if we're missing with that statement, CEO of a dress company, my mind is going to definitely think of a female.
Maybe, but if you think about the Fortune 500 in 2024, only 10% of Fortune 500 CEOs were women. That's where the money is made. That's where the high paid CEOs are. So if you're thinking about small business now, women in the S&P, because that's the S&P, it's only 8% because it's more technical in STEM. But in small business, there's more women who are starting up small businesses than men now. And they're doing it out of necessity because there's a ceiling in the industry. So a lot of the women who are successful in business go into business because they're in corporate and they can't get that promotion. They don't have what they need to go forward. So, it's
reason I left corporate.
Well, I mean,
same exact reason I left corporate. I couldn't get any more promotion.
Yep. I mean, we all have our story, and there is still a lack of equality. And it's in the paycheck. It's in the Fortune 500. That's where the money is made in that role. So if you're going to look at equality, are we equal in that from a gender standpoint? No, 10% is a heck of a lot lower than 90.
Okay.
I'm sorry, I'm a numbers person. Like, I'm an investor and a business strategist in the business side. So I always go to the numbers. What do the numbers tell me? Because there's no emotion in numbers. Numbers don't lie.
Great. I'm getting to the numbers right this moment. You mentioned one when you first went to the sports conference. That's a great example. You were out of 500 people in the room, you were maybe one of the 10 women. Or some example that you use. I'm sorry to skew the numbers and such.
There were 5 of us, and there were 1,500 people in the room. So
okay, wow, even worse than what I just said.
But that's not how it is anymore. I'll tell you, in sports, if you go to that same conference, the last time I went, so that was going early on in 99. Then you shift to 2017, the last time I went, women were about 20% of the room. So there's definitely a trajectory upwards. in there. And so I think there's
So,
progress. So you can see the documented progress, but you can't expect it to happen overnight.
well, my question is with that particularly is, do you feel that that was the from where you said it was 5 to 20 now? Do you feel that that was because of men keeping women out of the room, or was it women not choosing to take that path of career,
So at that
that
point in
particular
time,
sports medicine path?
yeah, at that point in time, women made up about 77% of physical therapists. And there were plenty of women
Okay,
who wanted to be in sports med. There were plenty of women. But if
okay,
you think about the 1990s, they were just getting into women's sports and all of the rules and regulations and legislation to encourage female sports. So I'm old, remember. I was there when, I had to play on boys' teams to play baseball, like for example, when I was a kid. So there's been a trajectory in the entire sociology of our country. But yeah, if you look at the statistics of who was in and who wanted to get in, yeah, there was a very big barrier for women. There's a very
okay.
big barrier.
I
That's
have
not
I
the
have
case
to ask
anymore.
someone who saw it firsthand, because I can't just assume. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So, definitely, I'm gonna strike that for men. I don't, I don't necessarily see that. Another one I wanted to kind of address, but trying to cut time, but I'll mention it a little bit. Like the groups about financing, like there are so like I'm on the opposite end of that in my mind. I know they're out there, but when I just go for look for small business funding, majority of the groups are for female small business owners and specifically Black female small business owners. When it comes to men, small business owners, in my opinion, it looks like women do get a lot more of the funding on that side of the thing. Do you feel that's the same?
So I can't speak to that aspect of it, but I've worked with men, women, and men in my experience. Now, could be because I'm located in Houston, Texas, and a lot of these small businesses are in Texas. Men tend to get the apples to apples, they get it before the woman does if it's the same
Mm,
exact business plan. If you're comparing apples to oranges, then if your business plan isn't
can't
what
do
it needs
that.
to be and you don't have that, then you're not going to get funding no matter what gender you are. But I've
Hmm.
had literal heads of these lending institutions tell me that absolutely there is a gender bias and there's a racial bias.
Yes.
And so what happens there, and I know what you're talking about, and I agree what you're talking about too. There's more groups, and there's a lot because what happens is when you're discriminated against, you form a group and you try to figure out how to get
Hmm.
around it. And
Right.
so you self-fund within that group. There is also a private equity group that's all people, and I'm a part of this, and I contribute to this because it only funds female entrepreneurs because it's so hard to get it from a bank. It's
Mm,
so much harder to get it. So we look at it to give specifically, we're funding females in technology because there's
mm,
hardly any females in technology that get funded. But we're looking at it and we look at it and we form the groups so that we have some sort of a resource or like a scholarship, if you will, for people who are getting started so that they have that leg up. And so if you feel like that's the case, then form your group because I can't, what women are really good at, and we didn't used to be, but we've gotten really good at it in the last couple of years is recognizing when we have a problem, we're more powerful if we band together and pool our resources. And so men
mhm.
don't do that because that's not natural for men to do. you don't
It's
generally.
survival of the fittest on our side of the fence.
Yes. And in women, we're more nurturers. And so we're
Hmm.
like, okay, well, this is a problem. You got this problem. We got to figure this out. How can we support each other? And that's not all women's group, but that's what happens with women is we form together the community and say, okay, what can we do? What is the one thing that we can do with where we are now? And how do we elevate as a group? And I think that is something that in small business, you're seeing a lot more of women only groups. And yes, black women groups and Hispanic women groups, that is legitimately a thing. And it's born
Hmm.
out of need because we couldn't crack through the traditional lending structure. So yeah, when you're talking about private, yeah, they
Okay.
definitely have that. Now, if you're talking about big money, yeah, if a woman pitches, she tend to
Yeah.
one doesn't get the big money.
Mm. Okay. Thank you very much for letting me pick that. I try not to attack it, but I try to pull it from a person, you know what I'm saying, that would be just totally ignorant of these things. So thank you for letting me pick your brain on that one particularly, because I feel like that was a great segment of information that can help people understand the landscape of how the world and the economy moves right now,
Mhm.
because you know
Well, I will
that's
tell
what
you this, Doc, like the reality is small business in the United States is 50% of the employment. And that's what makes the world go round. So if we want to leverage technology and do the things that are going to capture market share from the big companies, we have to band together. And it's not natural for men to do. But when we do band together, I would love to see it a co-ed initiative.
absolutely.
But the
I'm with
reality
that.
is, yeah, the reality is we have to make it. And if we see a problem and we don't make it, then that's on us too. Just like if we vote
Mhm.
for somebody and we can't complain if we don't vote, you know. So many
Right.
people don't even vote. You can't complain about a result in an election if you didn't even cast a vote.
You ain't
Right.
lying. You ain't lying.
That's so true, man. That's amazing.
You just shut up. You go over there. You ain't even try. So you just be quiet. Well, I don't even want to hear you.
I did try to run for president. You didn't vote for me, Raz.
I did.
I'm gonna
You
run for
did.
president. You watch.
I'm seriously running that campaign. I'm definitely running. I mean, look, I can't do no worse than the last couple. No, let me stop. Let me stop.
I'm going to just say for the record, we haven't had really great leadership in a really, really, really long time.
I mean, hey, I don't. If you can find, if we can solve that problem, that person is going to get probably a Nobel Peace Prize for the
Yep.
5 years consistently, because
Yep.
it's just where we are with it. All right, so I know you do have limited time. Do you have time for one more topic, or do you have to run?
I will make time. This is fun. I'm
Okay,
enjoying
all
this.
right.
So if it's
Well,
valuable to you guys, I'm here for it.
all right. Well, this one is well, okay. Well, this is a 3-minute video. Sorry for that. So we're gonna jump to this real quick, but I think this topic is one that is going to spark some good combos. So let's get into it
Hollywood
right quick.
production is being transformed by artificial intelligence. Deep Voodoo is a visual effects company that specializes in what they call facial replacement AI.
What's a funny face I should make? Like, like.
In about 30 minutes, they scanned my every expression to learn my facial movements. And 2 weeks later, we put the algorithm to the test with a body double and a live camera.
Okay, here we go.
Oh my God. That's so weird. Not my hair, but it's totally my face.
While visual effects have a long history in Hollywood, Deep Voodoo's precision and live render feature have won over celebrities like Kendrick Lamar, who use their technology to wear the faces of other celebrities.
In a traditional VFX scenario, it would be stuck in post and they wouldn't be able to see it until it was a finished shot.
So you can have actors wear the mask of another actor's face while they're shooting the movie, rather than having to wait until it's all done to do the face swap.
Absolutely, yeah. Julie, you don't have to show up for work anymore.
Deep Voodoo says it's working with studios to put actors' faces on stunt doubles and even to revive deceased movie stars.
How much does your technology threaten people's jobs?
This enables people to do their jobs quicker, better, and cheaper, but it's a creative tool and it needs to be operated by creative people.
But with all of this new technology come new concerns. The Screen Actors Guild telling us, quote, "Our goal is to ensure that our members are protected from unauthorized use of their names, voices, and likenesses. We intend to expand those protections as AI uses are addressed."
On movie sets like this one, AI is not only being used to clone actors' faces and voices, it's also being deployed to do CGI and visual effects faster and easier than ever before.
Wonder Dynamics quickly transformed me into these characters. Their AI technology can replace a human actor with a computer-generated figure in hours.
It's waving its arms around the way I move my hands when I talk.
Actor and company co-founder Ty Sheridan was inspired to improve visual effects after his experience wearing motion capture sensors on Steven Spielberg's Ready Player One.
We always wanted to tell stories that were bigger than our pockets, and that's really kind of what led us to starting this company.
Along with his co-founder Nikola Todorovic, Sheridan is hoping to make premium visual effects easier and more affordable. A 1-minute scene like this would normally take weeks to render.
With our technology, we're really hoping to bring it to a day or a couple of hours, depending on what shot is.
So it becomes much faster, but also more cost efficient.
Exactly, and more accessible, because all you need is a browser, web browser, and a camera.
Wonder Dynamics says hundreds of thousands of users have signed up to try its platform, and productions in the works for Netflix are already using it.
So is it going to eliminate the need for actors?
Absolutely not. Never put myself out of work. No, I think it's going to, if anything, I think it'll create more opportunities for actors to be in these type of films.
And if it works, what used to be science fiction can become an AI reality. Julia Borston, NBC News, Los Angeles.
Thanks for watching our YouTube channel. Follow today's top stories and breaking news by...
No, we will not promote that on the end of that video clip. But yeah. So AI, we go through this a lot. Especially Raz, we done been through this a few times. The robots coming into the homes, the self-driving cars. I mean, I have absolutely suggested to others and integrated AI into every aspect of business. I mean, I use it. I use it 20 times a day. So is AI taking over, or is it a tool that is necessary for us to be more successful in the world today? How do you feel about that?
I love this topic. I actually have a deep fake that has coached my group coaching session, and my clients didn't know it wasn't me. It's a combination of a tech stack. It's SuperDo plus HeyGen and a private LLM that learns on all of my previous content. They could ask it questions, and it answered it was 96% accurate. There was one question that I popped in, and I was like, listen, it didn't think about this because it was very unique, and it was an edge case. So let me talk about what is an edge case. AI is great, except for the things on the edges. If this is what's normal, there's always a couple of elite athletes over here that are going to outperform, and there's always the low performers. Like, those are edge cases. And so we will always need humans interspersed with the AI. But what I truly believe is that AI is here to make us more human. It's to take all the research. I use it for research. It does its research for me. I fact check it. I have to check the sources to make sure it's not hallucinating, but research is faster. It does my due diligence on deals. So instead of being able to look at, 20 deals to invest in, I can look at 150 in the same amount of time because it does my screening for you. So it literally is there to take all the time tasks away. And then it's my job to be creative, problem solve, and be more human with the people that I interact with. So I think that human creativity, AI can't do this. My husband's writing a book leveraging multiple AI tools. It keeps going other places and he has to corral it in. So he's using it more from editing and making plot scenes more seamless. And he's very verbose, so it kind of cuts out some of the extra. But it's really a great tool to leverage. And I want to say this because in that segment, they talked about name, image, likeness. In business, you absolutely, every human being, you guys should have your name, image, likeness trademarked. I have mine trademarked because people can take this and make a deep fake without your permission. Or if you say yes, be careful what you click agree to. I interviewed one of the top patent attorneys in the country, Deborah Gerhardt, on my TV show, because this is a big topic. And anybody who's leveraging AI, whether it's voice or image, needs to have NIL protection, because what you don't want is for people to make deep fakes and then you're in trouble for it. So
trademark what again?
Your name, image, and likeness, just like the athletes do, just like the celebrities do. You
Your
guys need
name, image, likeness.
Yep. It's like trademark your names. Like
Got it.
it's really important because in the age of deep fakes, if somebody takes that, it's going to be a lot easier for you to prosecute them if you have that in place. Yeah. My 2 cents.
Man, okay. Yeah. So my AI, I feel like I've actually tested a few different tools. I have 3 different phones that I carry with me every day. Each one has a different AI tool on it. So because I put the same information in and see what it puts out, see which I compare them.
Yep.
And I have to say that a couple of them, Copilot and Gemini, particularly, they have learned me very, very well. So do you feel like that there's any danger in that, where how adaptive that this AI really is in understanding us?
I personally believe yes, without ethical guardrails. So I know that there's a lot of other countries that put out stuff and they don't have ethical guardrails. I'm a big fan of controlling what AI can and cannot do. But I'm going to say this, I use chat a lot. I started using chat. I also use Copilot. I use all of them. They're in everything. And if we leverage that, they do learn us. They've been trained on psychological models. We can have altered perspectives. So one of the things, and this is actually going to be on my TV show. I already shot this with an AI expert. We literally went in and we did a life snapshot where we said, based off of everything that you know about me, I've been interacting with you for 2 years. What don't I know about myself? What don't I recognize? And it was spot on. Like, it was like brutally honest with me. And so if you're leveraging it and it's learning and we use it to see other perspectives, it's phenomenal. The other thing, it's going to become the subject matter expert, but it's going to allow us to look at all of the different perspectives, right? People talk about bias being bad, but if you bias it towards your buyer in business and everything that your ideal buyer is, what do they listen to? What do they like? How do they dress? How do they move? Where are they hanging out? Then it's going to give you the best opportunity to see their perspective in your new product, your new podcast topic, whatever. And I think that's brilliant because it allows us to curate what we're bringing to our customers in such a better way that we might not think about because we live with our experience. Like my experience is different than your life experience is different than, everybody else. And so if I can train those models, it helps me see those perspectives even better.
Okay. Well, let's test this out then.
I'm gonna do that.
Let's see here. The first half of this interview was AI. The first half of this interview, those questions were all AI. The second half, once we started imposter syndrome, that was me. Those are the questions that I came up with from researching you. So, in your opinion, were the better questions in the first half of the interview or the second half?
I think there have been good questions in both sides.
Okay.
I think there have been good questions on both sides. And the best questions are the ones that come after the first question anyway, in any interview.
Yep.
Because we're riffing and we're having a conversation.
I've been saying it, Andre. Cheers. I've been telling everyone was scared of AI back then when I've been talking about this. I say the only thing, it's not going nowhere. So let's stop all this scared and all that stuff. What you do, you adapt and you find a way to use it to your advantage. I've been talking about this. I've been talking about this. Been.
Yes. Okay. Well, thank you for the honesty. I feel like she really said the AI questions were better, but I'm not going to take it personal.
I didn't.
It's okay.
It depends on your topic.
Now, be honest. I think she's absolutely honest because
I do.
I wouldn't even know from the transition, as you say, the first half of the question was AI. Then your questions, I wouldn't have known that those were AI questions. You dig what I'm saying?
Well, yeah, I
Honestly, so
absolutely have been doing that
yeah,
for interviews for about a couple of months now, asking AI what
yeah,
should I ask this particular guest on this particular platform, and
right.
it's been hit or miss. Some of it has been like, bro, you need to come up with some better questions for real. But some of it has been kind of, you see, I pull some, I pull some. So
Well, it really
absolutely,
depends on what you feed it when you're thinking about
yes.
your AI. If it knows who you are and you've trained it, and you say, hey, look, I want to ask the real engaging question that
That
nobody else is
absolutely,
going to ask. Here's the bio and here's everything to look at. It will give you better questions. But
yeah.
for real, like when you get into the interview and you ask that second question and it's a conversation, that's where the money is. That's where you
Yeah,
draw it out. And
yeah.
that's all you guys, because AI started the prompts, but you guys carry the conversation, and that's what really gets you drilling deep. So
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, man,
Yep.
man, 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 man. Shout out to you, Cheers, man. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for all the viewers and everybody who commented and shared the platform, man. We love y'all. We trying to bring y'all look, Jen Gooday has been man, so far the best guest from 2025. Only one in 2025 so far, but you've
first
been the
guess.
best so far.
You get you
I'm just
get
saying,
you get
man.
the
Woo.
official brand new today starting on the Red Carpet Rendezvous. You get the LC Raz dime drop, first one. Bing!
Okay, okay. You see, hey, she been dropping them gems all
All
day.
day
Look,
long.
I'm not
Bing!
gonna
That
stress for y'all to go back and replay this interview. It's gonna be
I
y'all
would.
fault if you don't. I
True that.
guarantee you, it's at least, in my opinion, it's at least about $35,000 wrapped up in this interview. You better get to the money. You better get to it.
Probably,
That's
I
all I got.
mean, it's probably 100 grand. Probably a little more than that.
Yes, yeah, yeah.
Because it's
Like I
been
say, it depends on how you use it.
bing! True that. But she been
Depend on
bing!
how you use it.
Bing!
Yes. Yeah, I can't thank you enough so much. Thank you. I will absolutely have my eyes on your platform continuous. I see the conversations are definitely in my interest. I love those kind of conversations. I love the realism that you bring, that you don't shy away from giving your opinions and you know what I'm saying, and keep doing what you're doing. I can't say more. Just keep being the great Jen that I have known so far, and I will continue to love.
Yeah, share it to me so I can check her out, because she been dropping, because I got to do a couple things. AI, so the stuff that you learned about me so far, what do I don't know about myself? I didn't even think about that. What I don't know about myself, dude?
The
Dangerous
Go ahead
third
question.
tonight.
segment every week on Power CEOs is AI every week. And so it's dropping. I don't know if that self-discovery is going to be this Monday or next Monday, but it's coming. I think it is this Monday, or maybe it already passed. I don't know. Anyway, it's really, really good. So check it out. I give the prompts to give your AI so that you can really dive into, what does it mean for you and your
Oh,
business. So
Yes,
man,
ma'am.
look, Raz, I saw you grab your notebook. I've been taking notes this whole time. I promise you. I'm not, look,
I mean, it been
I
some
didn't
stuff
know.
that I knew, but it's a lot of stuff that I didn't know and didn't even know to do. And she, putting everything
Right.
together. Because a lot of stuff I knew, I've been telling you about this stuff back in the day. So a lot of stuff I knew with the transition and stuff like that, but it's a lot of stuff I didn't know neither. You know what I'm saying? And see, that's why she came
Right.
in. Bing, 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 bing.
Well, you guys on
Giving it
LinkedIn
up.
every Tuesday, 12:30 Central Time, I go and we talk about what's happening in AI this week. Come join us. I'll bring you up on the stage and we'll have a conversation. But I believe in free value because access is where it's at. Anything I learn is free game.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I think I actually have like 2 connections on LinkedIn. I have never started that. I got to work on my LinkedIn. Got to get more professional.
I got a
Gotta
lot
get
of
more.
people on LinkedIn. I gotta go on there too. I got so much, man.
That's where
gotta
the
go.
money is, guys. That's where the money is.
Okay, let me work my LinkedIn. I got so many requests on my LinkedIn and stuff, and I don't even go to it.
Man,
I'm
been missing
goofy.
out on
She
the
just let me
money.
know I'm goofy. So let me get to the LinkedIn. Thank you, Jen.
Thank you so much, man. When I get my first million, I'm definitely gonna send you a deposit. I'm gonna send my thank you check because we got some gems in here, man. Thank you so much. If I mean, like I said, we got your eyes on you. You LinkedIn on Tuesdays. I'm gonna pop in. You ever need us? I'll be there. I don't know. You here? I'll be there. But thank you again for coming in tonight. We appreciate you so much. Um, for anybody viewing, we are about to switch over to this to DJ Unk's tribute. So rest in peace for DJ Unk. We're gonna take a quick break here and we're gonna rock out for him just a quick minute. But thank you, Jen, so much for joining us again. I can't say thank you enough. I've been said it about 29 times, but I'm gonna say it again. Thank you.
Thanks, guys. It was fun.
Appreciate
Yes,
you.
absolutely. Absolutely. Yes,
Appreciate you.
more than you know. Peace.
In a heartbreaking turn of events, the music world mourns the loss of Anthony Leonard Platt, better known as DJ Unk. The Atlanta music icon, famous for his hits Walk It Out and Two Step, has passed away at the age of 42. DJ Unk rose to fame in 2006 with his chart-topping hit Walk It Out, followed by the wildly popular Two Step, which solidified his place in hip-hop history. His energetic performances and catchy beats made him a beloved figure in the southern hip-hop scene. DJ Monte expressed his deep connection with DJ Unk, stating, "Unk was more than just a collaborator. He was a brother. We made history together, and his legacy will live on through his music." The news of his passing was confirmed by his wife, Shirkita Long Platt, who shared a heartfelt message on social media. Tributes from friends, collaborators, and fans have poured in, celebrating the life and legacy of the late artist. DJ Unk's music became the soundtrack to many millennials' college experiences, and his influence on the hip-hop genre is undeniable. His songs continue to inspire new generations of artists and fans. As we remember DJ Unk, we celebrate his contributions to music and the joy he brought to so many.
Man.
What's that
Rest
Walk
in
It
heaven,
Out?
man.
He said Walk It Out. I still got that CD. I got a lot of CDs. That's why I keep them. I got a lot of CDs. I still got that CD too. Two Step.
What was your favorite Unk track?
Was it Walk It Out or Two Step? Walk It Out.
Walk It Out?
Yeah, that was my shit. Like, walk it out. Walk it out. Walk it out.
Yeah, okay. The remix or which verse?
I like the original one.
The original? That Andre 3000 was mine. Walk it out like
they
Usher.
killed it.
If you say real talk, I probably won't trust you.
Yeah, but
That's
I ain't
my
gonna lie,
shit.
that ain't the version. I always play the original version. It's just something about the original version to me, even though that was a hard version of it, but I still like the first version.
Yeah, man. Dude, I can't even front. One thing I noticed about it, when I started researching, like he getting all love. Not too many people are like he ain't had no beefs.
Nah.
You know what I'm saying?
Nah,
he ain't had no problems. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't nobody like no controversy came up after him on people saying he did this or that for to nobody. You know what I'm saying? He really was a good ass dude. You know what I'm saying? No problems. So no, it's hard, especially. So he like shit. He came up in the '90s and shit in 2000. So in that era, to not have no problems with nobody,
that's all.
Yeah, that's hard. That's hard to do.
You did.
All right. Well, you got what's up with the movies? What you got on the movie tip?
Let's see. I watched. Let me go to my little movie thing right quick, because I forget the names of these movies that I watched. All right, I watched.
Let's see here. Let me see. What is this shit?
What's the name of that movie? I watched so many movies since we've been gone. I watched the Jamie movie Back to Action.
Well, let me get to this clip. Wasn't bad.
I watched that. I watched Back to Action. I watched Wolfman. Now Wolfman was interesting. I watched Wolfman, and
Wolfman was better than Back to Action.
Wolfman was way better than Back to Action. It was very interesting on the Wolfman.
Yeah, Wolfman was better.
The Wolfman, see, now you see the difference of a werewolf and a Wolfman. Wolfman, he stayed a Wolfman all day. Fuck the moon. Moon ain't got shit to do with the Wolfman.
Yeah.
Wolfman stayed daytime,
Yeah.
nighttime. He the Wolfman. A werewolf changes when the moon and changes back. So you got to kind of understand, and you know what I'm saying? It was actually, it was a good fucking movie, actually. So I watched that. Yeah, Back to Action. It was cool. It was the same scenario type of movie. You know what I'm saying? It had a little action in it. I watched The Beekeeper finally. Not great story. A lot of great action. Story wasn't shit, but a lot of great action. A lot of bold action. So that if you like action, it's a good movie to check out. You know, not a good story. You know, not the fuck at all. But it was, you know, had a lot of action in it. I like that. I say Wolfman. Now some series I checked out. Also, I checked out American Primal Fear. American Prime Evil.
Yes.
That's
American Prime Evil. Boy, I told you.
Yeah.
Boy, I told you.
That's pretty. That was pretty good. I watched the whole thing on that.
That boy, the whole Native American aspect of that kind of took it to another level to me, because we, you know what I'm saying, we know how we go when you go back to the old pioneer times.
Yeah.
And you know what I'm saying, we know it was struggles and shit like that, but when they added that my bad, let me fix this view back. When they added the damn Native Americans in, that took it to that aspect of it. Well, yeah, that was some swifty shit.
Yeah. Surprisingly good movie dealing with sharks is Under Paris. Surprisingly good. Just a regular sharks. I mean, they getting bigger, but it's not like, you know, no Meg or no crazy shark, but they just getting bigger and, you know, a different type of species. But that was surprisingly a good movie. I watched, one of your recommendations was The Watchers. Watchers, good movie.
I recommended that. I don't even remember that.
Yeah, The Watchers. I finally watched it. It's a good movie. The only part I didn't
Must
like.
have been old.
Yeah, it is old. Not old, but you know, last year old. And I watched it, and only thing I didn't like is that what they was, because now come to find out they was trolls, but not trolls, but like fairies and all this stuff, and they grew all the way to all this stuff and all. But it was a cool movie. It was cool. I just didn't like that they couldn't come out in the sun, because I never known no fairies not to come out in the sun and stuff like that. They only come out at night. But the movie was pretty good. It was pretty interesting. Fast paced. It ain't how you waiting all fucking day. So it was pretty cool, pretty fast paced. So that was another good movie that I checked out. That was pretty good. And the last movie that I wouldn't recommend was The Man with No Past. That shit, I'm waiting.
Yeah, I'd have skipped that.
Yeah. But I mean, if you into suspense and stuff like that, it's cool. But I hate that I'm into suspense and stuff, because I'm waiting. You know, and they just didn't give it to me, and I'm waiting.
Nah.
Yeah.
Nah.
One more series.
Well, I got into what was that?
Hold on, they got Family Business out, New Orleans.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's corny. Yeah,
they got Family Business New Orleans and a new season of the Family Business. I had to pick one. I'm not watching both. I had to pick one.
I didn't even know they had.
They got a new season with Erickson Foster. Yeah. I can't. Come on. Okay, y'all need to chill the fuck out. Y'all gonna put both of them out at the same damn time.
Right. Nah. I just got to watch New Orleans, but I'm thinking it's just New Orleans. You know what I'm saying? Not them too.
Right. They done put out 3 damn seasons and shit, and he working on a new show, Carl Weber.
Yeah, I watched that one first, and I get to the other one. Shit, I'm on New Orleans.
Well, you did. I was trying to confirm if you suggested. What was it? Shit, the dude. Well, I got a clip anyway. Let me bring up the clip. Matter of fact, because I can't think of the shit. So let's go ahead and get to the spoiler alert clip. You got to run, right? You got to go now?
No, I'm at 9 o'clock.
All right. Well, first movie. No, okay. Now let's get to the clip. Where is it? Here. Is this it? I think this is it. Yeah.
That's
The
my
Day of the
shit.
Jackal. The Day of the Jackal. That's
my
what.
shit.
Just yeah. You suggested this, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Good one. This is definitely a good one. They took the assassin role, you know what I'm saying, the Dexter type assassin that you don't know he is. They played it beautiful. I didn't like that they, you know what I'm saying, again they had to make everybody damn gay, but was the old one gay?
I don't think so. That's the thing.
Yeah.
I don't think so. And he wasn't. I don't think. You know what? It's kind of messed up to say. He just did what he had to do to complete the mission, and that meant he had to be gay at that time. That's all I can say. Now, I say one thing. Now, if he was taking it, then no, that's different. But you know,
they didn't show all that. I'm glad.
You know what I'm saying, right? You know what I'm saying, but you know, I think this was more so of so much psychological, just your target. You know what I'm saying? You got to do whatever you have to do, and there was some things that you had to do. You know what I'm saying, to get his target. I say that. I'll give him a break.
Was you mad that old girl died? Well, did she die at the end? I think she died.
Yeah, she died. She did.
Yeah. Was you mad at that? She was thick as fuck too.
Yes and no, because that just shows what type of dude he is. You know what I'm saying? He gonna take you out, and that's why I came to that perception where he just had to do what he had. I don't think he's actually, you know, bisexual or nothing like that. I don't think like on his regular life he's going looking for no dude, right? In these situations and these assassin attempts, they so dedicated to what they do, where he had to do. You even see women that go fuck dudes that they know good and well, or even mess with girls. Like we'll go is that fucking one of the Power series, Kanan. We see old girl. She wasn't like that, but she did what she, you know what I'm saying, was mess with old girl. You know what I'm talking about? Did what she did, but she wasn't like that. You dig what I'm saying? So sometimes that's why I give him the whole benefit of the doubt. He just did what he had to do. I don't think on his regular basis he's just going out looking for no damn dude. You know what I'm saying? I think that's what he had to do. And you know, in those type of businesses, shit, you better do what you gotta do or you're out of here.
What you ready? What you think is coming for season 2?
For the Jackal?
Yeah.
It's gonna be more daring stuff because he's not a tough guy. He can't fight. He can shoot the shit out of you. He got great planning. So it'll be something else, you know what I'm saying, that'll draw him back in. You know what I'm saying?
No, actually they switching. I think season 2 is gonna be a whole nother storyline. I don't think it's gonna be
the whole other Jackal.
It's a different person.
Oh, okay. That'd be great.
From what I saw, I can't claim it, but
yeah, that'd be great.
I could be wrong. This was a great movie. I was
watching yet.
30 seconds in, and I was like, "Fuck yes!" And I didn't turn this motherfucker off. This was a dope ass movie.
Yeah,
the father role wasn't bad or nothing.
Having one that won't be the most important thing about me.
Real life. Yeah.
That's what made me tune in, because I know it was a real story. And as soon as I saw his leg, I was like, "This shit just happened a few years ago." Yeah.
My mom told me about that Drexel scholarship.
Yeah.
I'm gonna keep my options open. When you could go to school for free.
You think he should have went to Drexel?
Said he's gonna keep his options open. Every big college has seen you wrestle, and so far Drexel's the only one that made the offer. Have you ever from ASU? The best college wrestlers in the world go there.
You know,
the best I can offer you is to walk on.
You know, he got to a place where he needed to be.
Listen up. You're gonna have to beat out men who were recruited to be on the Arizona State University wrestling team.
Yeah, the coach was Don Cheadle played the coach role very, very well. I think he played it very well.
Yeah, see what I'm saying? That comes to, where he needed to be.
Yeah.
Drexel probably wouldn't even push him or even believe in him like that. You know what I'm saying? Where he went to that school. And I ain't even seen the movie yet. I'm just saying what you're saying. You know what I'm saying? He went to that school and he got that close. Because one thing about people that,
Yeah, I forgot.
with
Just go.
disabilities, they don't want to feel like they're not human or feel like, you know what I'm saying, that they are disadvantaged or something like that. I got two friends that's disabled. They can't walk in like that. So it was always fun. They always invite me to come around because I'm always fucking with them. I'm always like, you can't catch me. Like, your head, you can't, you know what I'm saying, stuff like that. And they just like
You ignorant.
They just like to feel me like that. But every time they caught me, I couldn't do nothing because they so strong up in the arms. Well, I'm caught. I can't do nothing. They just
You stupid.
They just like they don't want to feel like they don't want to feel this thing. They know they
right,
but they don't want to have you making them feel with their life.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's where it's supposed to win. We see what happens, so that's where it's supposed to win.
Yeah, he did good. I got one for you. You like the gory stuff? I got one, man. This clip I played, man. The opening scene had me like fuckity fuck. Yes, this dude right here. This dude. You see this? Man, I'm telling you, Raz, bro. The way his daughter tried, man, bro. I'm telling you, man. So Grafted is about what it is you can literally take somebody's skin off, and when it's this chemical that she plugs into it, and when you put it on your skin, you become them. It's not like you wearing a face, you actually become them. So this girl had just moved, she's like from China or something, and then she moved to UK, and she's like trying to fit in, and nobody like her. So she ended up basically started killing everybody so she can fit in. So she killed the friend, and now everybody friends with her. So now she got friends. You know what I'm saying? And then the other girl kind of snuck in on her, so she had to kill her. And she's like, damn, she prettier, so she took them. But then they get all fucked up, man. The beginning of the scene, bro, I'm telling you, when you saw the dude cut his mouth open, that's her dad. And he died because he couldn't breathe. When his mouth shut like that, he couldn't breathe. So he passed out, and you see her grab the little knife, and she's cutting his mouth. She just keeps cutting his mouth open so he can breathe. But he dead already. And man, I'm telling you, bro, this shit is so wild. I don't know why I haven't seen this movie because it came out last year.
Right.
But man, I don't know why the fuck that shit. Yeah, that's my suggestion for you personally, Raz.
You probably passed it 100 times. Like we say, so many streaming, so many movies, so much bullshit that, you probably passed it a whole bunch of times. And just one of them days, you know what? Let me see this. Fuck this is.
Right. It wasn't interesting enough until I think somebody just re-released it on the website I'd be watching. So it's in HD now on my site. So yeah. All right. That's what made me pop on it. But before we go back to the DJ Unk, with the DJ Unk tribute, announcing we do have a new series we gonna be reviewing. We got Power coming back in March, but in February we gonna start breaking down the TV series All Time Breaking Bad. It's I gotta admit, Breaking Bad is a good damn TV series. It takes a while to get you involved into it, but it's a good ass TV series. So
I suggest everybody watch. I can do that over again. There's a lot of series that I can't do over again. This is one of them I can do again.
Hope you like
do
our
it again.
videos.
I'll do
Well,
that
bet,
again. I'll
bet.
do that
Subscribe
again.
to our channel.
Well, I got to do it again. I got to do it again because I didn't know. So I watched the first couple of seasons, so I got to go back, watch the first season again, so we can review it right.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're gonna break this one down, dude.
Following his
So
50th birthday, he got to know
do
that
you
he
think
has
he
lung
was
cancer.
born
On
bad
a ride along
or
with his DEA brother-in-law Hank,
he
during a
was
meth
turned
raid,
bad?
he
Like,
sees
was
his
his
was
bad
turned.
already in him?
He was.
Life
It's
did
bad.
that to
Hold
him?
on. It's bad. It's bad in
and
everyone.
Walt blackmailed him to helping him produce
Every
crystal meth.
individual that's
They
walking
tried
us
to do
up
so
right
in
now
an
is
old
it's
RV in a
bad.
desert.
Okay.
Now Jesse
What
turns
happened
into
was it got brought out because he was a good dude. So we talk about in general, he was a good dude already. He's fucking nerd dude, like fucking goofy. You know what I'm saying? But later on, you see the progression where all the bad came out of him. You know what I'm saying, and stuff like that. Everybody got some bad in them. You know what I'm saying? It just takes something to bring that out.
Spark
And
that
the
shit.
business that he was in, his bad needed to come out. It better had. You can't stay the same person that you was. You know what I'm saying? That bad got to come out.
Yeah,
You know
I
what I'm
feel
saying?
you.
So it's good and bad in everybody, man. It's just on which influence brings out what result.
Well, I hope y'all ready to get into that bad Breaking Bad. We're gonna tear into that for February for y'all, and then lead up until Raising Canaan, I believe, is coming back in March. So
Yeah.
we gonna tear it down for y'all, man. Raz, you starting on R&B show tonight?
Yep, finna do it in a hot second. I got Miss Asia Sings from Detroit, Michigan tonight.
All right. Well, you gotta get me on there. I want to rock out with you a couple times on the R&B segment. So let me know when I can jump on, man.
Yeah, man, come on, man. Shit, you want to come on tonight? Shit.
Shit, send me the link. I'll be
I'm
on.
finna send you the fucking link. I got questions I'ma ask her, but you know, fuck it. Fuck it. I'm looking for another host for the Sunday night. Because I really just play music, but I do all the R&B interviews when they want them. I do them on Sunday. So then after the interview, then I go to the little mix and then I end the show out. But that's what the Sunday are all about. So this time we got an interview. So I'm finna click you. I'm finna send that motherfucker to you right now.
Well, send it on to me. I'm about to just end this broadcast. We about to rock out with a few DJ Unk tracks, man. Just for the love of the strength from my brother, man. I can't say I was a huge fan of him, but I definitely respected his movement. I never had no ill feelings about him, like a few motherfuckers in the game. And from what I see from researching on him, he was a good dude. So we lost a good brother, young, 42, 43 years old. Respect. Sorry if I don't have any of that information right. I'm just trying to report, but we lost a good brother, it looked like, and somebody got an angel now. So rest in heaven, man. But we're gonna rock out one good time. Rest in peace, DJ Young.
A two-step. There go the two-step. There go the two-step. There go the two-step. There go the two-step. There get jiggy with it. 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 There go the two-step. Way two-step. There came two-step. Like I two-step. Watch me get jiggy. You can actually hear me two-stepping while I'm recording this. You know that. This is the remix. You know my bankroll. Got a lot of zeros. Teddy Payne. The Tallahassee hero. I done got a crib. Now I'm in the A. Two-stepping. Let me show you how I do this thing. Take your left foot. Put it out in the front and do it like this. Now if you look around the club, you would notice can't nobody do it quite like this. Hey, shades on, them Oakley to be exact. Now when I sing my song, I'ma bring them to the back. And you know, I'm the hottest round. So when I get them up to my room, I got them counting me down. Let's get it. Hey, two-step. Two-step. Let's go. Now go to two-step. Now go to two-step. Now watch me two-step. Now watch me two-step. Then get jiggy with it. Get jiggy with it. Get jiggy with it. Get jiggy with it. Step it to the right, wipe me down, man. Step it to the left, put your stunner frame. By this time the world know what to do. It's going down, two-step and remix. Oh, what to do? I'm back one more again with another one. Two-step and get jiggy, baby, have some fun. wonder how I do it home. They got their steps wrong, they try to bite mine. Let's see what's happening when I count down. One more time, go. Hey, 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 two-step, two-step. Let's go. Now go to two-step, now go to two-step. Now watch me two-step, now watch me two-step. And get jiggy with it, really big jiggy with it, really big jiggy with it, really big jiggy with it.
Now catch us two-stepping, I got my goons repping. We turn the VIP into the do-it section. You know the jewel selection, I'm blue VVS'ing. We ain't gon' talk about the whips, you know the coupe selection. And I got everything that you want. I'm registered at DuPont, I get bread like croutons, I make dough like croissants. I'm Grey Poupon, Bentley baby. What the f is you want? That's how I'm living ladylike. Please call a car dealer, then up your paw dealer. Now we out in Vegas, poker face with the car dealer. The hard, going off the hard liquor. You better watch your sound when them foreign cars wheeler. I'm back.
Hey, 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 two-step, two-step. Let's go. Now go to two-step, now go to two-step. Now watch me two-step, now watch me two-step. And get jiggy with it, really big
official remix, official remix, official remix. I'm in my Cutlass on 2 shoes, breaking all the rules. 2 hitters, man, 2 fools, 2 hammers, man, 2 tubes. Shining like a chandelier, diamonds up in my ear. Sick with it, trophy on my neck, I dang near where it ain't. Too much candy on my ride, too many rumors I done died. Too many haters on this earth, all my life it ain't been searched. Started off real small, but now my mail is tiled. Had to walk before I crawled, I had my back against the wall. 2 faces, not us, 2 faces at once, gritting and getting it in. Hustlers are us, never no pause. 2-step on your cheek, I see some bras, I see some bras. 2-stepping by they long side. These square suckers, they acting like they don't know. They don't know, they don't know, they don't know. You gotta find them though, send them though, break them down. Get the dough, get the dough, get the dough. I mean, get it, man, rain, shine, sleet or snow. But see, I manage with it, I get jiggy with it.
Two-step, two-step. Let's go. Now go to two-step, now go to two-step. Now go to two-step, now go to two-step. Now get jiggy with it, really big jiggy with it, really big jiggy with it, really big jiggy with it. Now go to two-step, now go to two-step. Now watch me two-step, now watch me two-step. Now get jiggy with it, really big jiggy with it, really big jiggy with it, really big jiggy with it. Now walk it out. Now walk it out. Now walk it out. Southern style DJ. Now walk it out. DJ Montana Trap. DJ On. Southside walk it out. We at it again, baby. Northside walk it out. Here we go. Now walk it out. 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 Now Westside walk it out. Southside walk it out. Eastside walk it out. Northside walk it out. Now hit the dance floor. Hey, bend your back low. She do it with no hands. Now stop, pop and roll. I'm smoking bubble hoe. Yeah, they in trouble hoe. I like the way she move. Undercover hoe. Now everybody leaning. I make the crowd rock. Now go and walk it out. I see they on my job. She want that bubble gum. Is they the double mint? 2 hoes shooting me, so I know that I'ma win. It's on once again. Patron once again. I threw my head back, then I froze like the wind. Westside walk it out. Southside walk it out. Eastside walk it out. Northside walk it out. Now 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 Westside walk it out. Southside walk it out. Eastside walk it out. Northside walk it out. Now 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 Westside walk it out. Southside walk it out. Eastside walk it out. Northside walk it out. They walk it on the east, they walk it on the west. The south side just got it, north side snapping it. In the club on the goose, big stacks, no flex. These suckers wanna try me, tell them too long dead. He walk it in his one, steady smoking on fruits. She walked it with a friend, all in a snow boots. Oh shit, there they go. They walk it on the floor. Grey goose, double shots, it'll let your body go. My niggas on my side, haters hate, think it's funny. I walked it on these niggas, now I'm getting to the money. Froze on them hoes, I'm not talking about dancing. On count, on the charm, diamond steady dancing. Now walk it out. 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 Westside walk it out. Don't hide that pussy, divide that pussy. Don't hide that pussy, divide that pussy. Don't hide that pussy, divide that pussy. Fuck some, fuck some, fuck some, fuck some. Don't hide that pussy, divide that pussy. Don't hide that pussy, divide that pussy. Don't hide that pussy, divide that pussy. Fuck some, fuck some, fuck some, fuck some.
It's 4 in the morning, bitches at my car door. Put the Chevy in reverse and let the bubble kush blow. Money safe, got the keys to the room at the mo. And if you hoes ain't fucking, then you don't need to go. I just wanna fuck you. Nope, I don't think so. I'm a straight cutter, straight gutter, nigga, stupid hoe. Just pass the pussy and let my boy hit it. We gon' smash the pussy. That's how we like to hit it. Divide it up and split it. She shoulda never did it. We gon' make that thing drip like it's something wrong with it. She sucked me till I came and she didn't even spit it. She swallowed it. She kissed it and she licked it.
Don't hide that pussy, divide that pussy. Don't